Good afternoon. I'm Michael Stutelberg with the Agricultural Utilization Research Institute, and it is my pleasure to present to you on winter oilseed supply chains. Before we get started discussing oilseed processing and meal analysis, I want to provide some background information about AURI. At AURI, we help develop new uses for agricultural commodities. AURI was created by the Minnesota legislature 30 years ago, and our mission is to foster long-term economic benefit through value-added agricultural products. We have four focus areas: bio-based, co-products, food, and renewable energy. Bio-based products focuses on opportunities for Minnesota businesses to use agricultural products to replace traditionally petroleum-based ingredients such as plastics, films, building materials, lubricants, and sealants. Co-products is creating new uses for agricultural waste or co-products to create new revenue streams. The Co-products Lab in Waseca is the only value-added lab of its kind in the Midwest. The lab is used for development of new uses for plant and animal co-products that present environmental and economic opportunities. In food, AURI's food scientists are available to provide consulting and technical services in areas of product and process development, product evaluation and testing, sourcing materials and equipment, and services. AURI's food laboratories are available to clients for hands-on testing and development. In renewable energy, we focus on production of renewable energy from agricultural products. Focusing on transportation fuels to heat to electricity, we are working on ways to keep ag-based bioenergy a strong contributor to the state's economy. Our labs and offices are located throughout the state, with our headquarters and microbiology lab in Crookston. In Marshall, we have our food development laboratory, which is available to those seeking to introduce new foods to the marketplace. The food lab is focused on smaller companies and entrepreneurs who are developing and commercializing new food products. In November of 2019, our new food product evaluation and sensory laboratory opened, which offers producers, entrepreneurs, and businesses the ability to assess critical sensory attributes of new food products. Also in Marshall is our analytical chemistry lab that is focused on providing quantitative and compositional data to promote value-added products from Minnesota agricultural commodities and co-products. The analytical laboratory evaluates many sample types, including foods, meats, co-products, and renewable fuels. In Waseca, we have our co-products lab that include a vast array of capabilities, including pelleting, drying, oil processing, oil pressing, oil filtration, and a new decorticator. Throughout the state, we also have individual offices as well. Working with clients, we help clients and collaborators in various aspects. Through research, we focus on practical and applied research and helping identify emerging opportunities to add value to agricultural products. Through AURI Connects, AURI can help bring together the right people at the right time to help bring new products and processes to the market. Examples of this are the New Uses Forum and Webinar Wednesday, a new event series called the Fields of Innovation, focusing on new and emerging crops and end uses in Minnesota, will begin shortly. Commercialization services that we have can help with economic feasibility assessments, product mix formulation, assistance on scaling up production size, product and process development, business development, and product evaluation and testing. Now, I would like to take you to Waseca and walk you through the steps Al and Riley follow to set up and use the oil press and filter. I'll walk you through the steps Riley and Al go through to prepare the screw press by attaching the screw. Riley now connects the crush chamber where oil will be extracted inside and expelled through the small holes. Riley is now adding the faceplate to keep the press under pressure and tightening the adjustable nozzle to the faceplate screw. The oil guard is used to guide the oil into the collection pail. The meal guard being attached is used to separate the meal and oil streams. Camelina seed is now being added to the hopper, and final adjustments are made prior to the screw press operation. The screw speed is then set at 45 to 48 Hz for ideal pressing. The press is preheated to 100 degrees Fahrenheit prior to operation. Now we are ready to press, and tightening the meal discharge nozzle here creates a back pressure to optimize oil extraction efficiency. Here we have the meal being separated and collected into a pail for further use and analysis. Both meal and oil temperatures are monitored during this process. Oil temperature is ideal around 85 degrees Fahrenheit and the meal at 140 degrees Fahrenheit or less. Now that the oil has been extracted, we can clean the oil through the filter press. To aid in filtration, diatomaceous earth, bleaching clay, and activated charcoal can be added to the oil at specific percentages prior to filter operation. Allowing the bleaching clay and activated charcoal to mix with the oil for 12 to 24 hours prior to filtering is recommended. The filter press is being prepared with 2 plates, and the raw oil is added and the filter is pressurized to 20 to 25 psi. The oil is then filtered slowly through the plates and collected. The filter plates are easily cleaned for the next batch of oil filtration. Here now are examples of camelina oil filtered with activated charcoal. You can see the great clarity of that oil. Camelina oil with only bleaching clay with some sediment there at the bottom. And lastly, just raw unfiltered camelina oil, which has a lot of particulates. You can see the need for filtering the oil prior to additional uses. As you can see, there are a lot of variables that can affect the yield of oil extracted and purity of the oil with filtration. Oil filtration to remove impurities is important to prevent oxidation, improve quality, and extend the shelf life of the oil. After optimizing the conditions of the screw press for camelina and pennycress, an extraction efficiency of 60% oil was obtained for camelina. From 50 pounds of seed, that would be about 11.5 pounds of raw oil. When pressing pennycress, the efficiency was about 35% due to the small seed size, which equates to almost 5 pounds of oil per 50 pounds of pennycress seed. Now that the oil has been extracted, we can analyze its components using gas chromatography and following an AOCS method to look at the fatty acids in the oil. From these results, in the table above, you can see that there are some variations between camelina, pennycress, and soy. Looking at the omega-3s, like alpha-linolenic, EPA, and DHA, these latter two you've probably heard about more in fish oil, but they can also be found in camelina, pennycress, and other oilseeds. Alpha-linolenic is an essential fatty acid, meaning our bodies cannot make it. We must consume foods that contain this fatty acid. Omega-3s may have health benefits that reduce inflammation and additional health benefits for your heart, lungs, immune system, and endocrine system. As cited by Mayo Clinic, omega-6s, like linoleic, a type of polyunsaturated fat, may also be good for your heart. As we talked about last week, a balanced diet is very important when consuming these different omega-3s and 6s. For soybean, after separating the oil and meal, the meal ultimately drives its value. It is therefore important to look at the characteristics of these new meals. When compared to 47% soybean, both camelina and pennycress ultimately contain less protein in the meal. Looking at total digestible nutrients, it is an estimate of the energy content of a feed based on the digestible portion of nutrients that can supply energy, calculated from the approximate values of carbohydrates, protein, and fat. Pennycress, as you can see in this table, has a greater total digestible nutrients than both soy and camelina. However, pennycress does contain glucosinolates, which have a bitter taste, so reduction or elimination of these glucosinolates would benefit pennycress as a feed. Comparing the feed values of these different oil seeds, corn and soybean meal are the two standard ingredients for most livestock and poultry diets in North America. Shell corn number 2 yellow is the main source of energy, and soybean meal is a staple product for protein additions to livestock and poultry diets. Compared to number 2 shell corn at $3.25 per bushel, with a price of 47% soybean meal at $300 per ton, we can calculate the potential feed value for pennycress and camelina meal. As you can see, the estimated value of pennycress was about $241 per ton, compared with camelina at $232 per ton. Lastly, while we have focused on the meal and oil characteristics, we have ongoing research with collaborators at Central Lakes College, the Forever Green team at the University of Minnesota, and other clients and small businesses. Camelina and pennycress are being investigated for use in various bio-based materials. For additional questions or information, please visit our website at www.auri.org